breakfast, why not? I don't know, contemplating. Today might turn gnarly, I don't know. We gotta go all the way to Gift Lake, which is north of Slave Lake, to get a pipe tub, and then I think we're doubling back for, who knows, shags. I don't know if this is racking. It's gotta be racking, because the pipe wouldn't be coming back to Leduc or Nisku to drop off the pipe tubs. Possibly just getting an inspection while they're doing a location move, maybe. Who knows? Hard to say. I don't really know what goes on the in-betweens for drilling rigs. Like, you drill a hole, do you have to get that stuff inspected? Do you get it inspected every 3 or 4 holes? I don't know. So yeah, we're going to get a pipe tub with my lowboy. I haven't seen my lowboy in like a month. I can't remember the last. Hopefully it's not all messed up. I don't think it's budged. It's been sitting there, not moving. I was just thinking that the other day. I'm like, man, I haven't pulled my lowboy. It's stuck behind the wheeler, or stuck attached to the wheeler for like the past, feels like a month. Did one trombone job for like a super long skid that was too long even for the trombone. Should have been blocked up on the neck and then fully stretched. But you know, you show up and you go to do a job, you're just gonna do a job and hope for the best. A little bit behind the gun. 4:28. Should be leaving right now. But we should be probably alright. I don't know. Directions come from High Prairie side. So I'm like, you know what? I don't like going that way. There seems to be way too many speed zones. Like, once you leave, well, first you gotta drive you gotta drive through Slave Lake either way. I just kind of feel like going around the north side of the lake is always better than going around, I guess that would be the south side of the lake. Because there's way more like speed zones where they're like, slow you down to 80 because there's reserve. And then same with when you're on 750 from 2 going north, there's like way more like speed curves, sharp curves, bridges, little villages, little I don't even know what they all are. I just remember I went that way once and I was like, this sucks, I'm not going this way anymore. But there was also road construction for like 50k, so the road seems to be better on the north. So anyways, that's what we're doing. We're gonna go tub and possibly shag. Got T-Ruck and is moving the rig, so I heard. I don't even know if we have their channels. We're going before the rig move, but if we circle back for the second, we might not see them at all, especially if they do the rig move after we've gotten the tubs out, which would seem stupid. Maybe it's another day or two and we go get shacks. I don't know. Say we get tubs out of the way, they move the rig, then we go back and get shacks. So it'll be like a 3-day with a day in the middle doing nothing. We'll see. Stay tuned and we'll make something out of it. You had one job to do. Fuck everybody leaving shit on. Picker's in my way. Park half in my fucking side of the shop. Gotta fire it up and move it so I can get out. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this. It's just sandblast. So they took the whole subframe off the truck and blasted it. This is that one that came off that Avita truck. It's gonna get some loves. 2019. It's kind of not bad, but might as well do it now while it's off, right? Gonna upgrade some of the thinner stuff. That's for the grading. That's pretty. I don't even know what to call that. Is that quarter? Replace all that. Bigger. I think it must have used to be a push truck or tow rig of some sort. It's kind of weird that it had these on here, which would have been right at the wheel, and then the skirt that's still attached to the truck has some more like that. It's a heavy fucking truck. I hauled it one time and I was like, jeez Louise, this thing is fat. Always getting the Lennox treatment slide outs, which I personally don't like. I don't like it because it doesn't look clean. I ought to put my backup lights here off the step or something, which I still haven't done. That needs to be here, and the front end needs to go whoop. I think it was out for its 10-year or something. It was at Strongco, I think, so someone else probably brought it back. Makes me nervous. Did good. You hold your foot on the brake pedal so you can see the brake lights reflecting off the wall. And then when they get really small, that's when you're close enough. But I've showed you guys the outside of this wall before. It's too dark. There's a couple fucking dents. Like 6 or 7.
Copy that.
soft over here.
Yeah, it looks like that. You found a hole.
Fuck. You can slurp some more out of there now. Fuck, I'm still sticking way out. Yo, Miles.
Yo, Gerald.
Since you're not loaded yet, I could use some assistance. You can come on in here, sign in the Blue Shack, and then you'll see me. You can fucking drive straight in and back up to my bumper here and see if you can get me out of this predicament or not.
Copy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, bro. Where you going? Arizona?
Yeah, that
There we go. There you go. Oh, yeah.
That is on the floor. Only getting like 32 pounds boost. I'm shy about 8 pounds. Check Dakota. On our way up, it's on cruise, just minding my own business, and it gave like a little full throttle burp for like maybe a second, and then the engine light came on, and I was empty. I didn't really notice anything going on. I was keeping my eye on all the gauges and stuff. I'm like, huh. And then as soon as we hit the first hill, when you're getting kind of close to Slave Lake, when you got looking all the hills, and Nick, the guy that's in front of us here that passed us, he's just like, how come I'm catching you now all of a sudden? I'm like, At that point I didn't know what it was, but once we got into Slave Lake, checked what the code was, and it was fuel rail pressure. So I'm down on fuel pressure, so then in that turn I'm not getting the exhaust pushing out, not getting the boost. At first I was like, oh, did the speed sensor just take a lick? Because I've had speed sensor issues 2 or 3 times, and since I got a new auxiliary, I was still like mid-winter, so it should have been, if it was going to show signs of issues, it would have. So yeah, they just said keep running. It does sound a little noisy at idle with stop and go fuel. I'm like, it definitely doesn't sound right, but what do you do? Drive until it blows up, get another engine? Sure, as long as it's not the same as the transmission, which is mildly warm right now because we're climbing hills, and I just put it into OD so I can fucking haul ass. 2 behind me, 1 in front of me. Hammer against the clock. The clock. The logbook clock. Gotta go fast. take this back to Nisku, dump it off, and hightail her back to base. I probably won't be able to get this fixed till Monday. This is Saturday today. We'll have to see. He's like, told the mechanic, he's like, I'm like, you should be safe. I'm just keep going. Just keep your eye on everything, and I have been. Nothing's changed. It just kind of gain us on power here, but they have to plug it into a computer, right? Because fuel rail pressure can mean so many different things. See how stuck I got? Damn. I like slurped on that tub. It's already the front of wherever my truck was like the step was already almost on the ground. I'm like, I had no option because there was a tub. The tubs were like literally inches apart, so I was like, I don't know if I could like get enough angle to back up. Not that it's gonna be any harder there, but maybe it was, right? But as soon as I was like, I went for it, all locked up. As soon as the trailer hit that, it just went. Then I could tell as soon as I looked in the mirror, because the trailer was like this, I was like, oh, it's down. It's really down. But yeah, we got Bertha, 118 there, Miles, sound like Miles. He was waiting out on the road for one more truck to come out before he came in. I was like, you're the only one without pipe tub nut on right now. I'm like, you come in and give me a little tug. So it's twice this week Miles has had to help me out. But yeah, teamwork, we got it done. And I kept both mud flaps. And I didn't rip anything off anywhere else either, so that's good. A little bit of mud in the tires.
And approaching the vehicle.